Hello, my name is Leighton Fishback and I'm coming to you from Hillsboro, Oregon, which is a suburb of Portland, Oregon. And today I'm going to make Crabby Artichoke Spinach dip. So of course our first ingredient is the Philadelphia cream cheese. So it's 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese and you want to put that right in the mixer. And we're going to go ahead and let that run for a little bit to make sure that it's nice and creamy. It does help if you set it out ahead of time and it's been softened, but you don't have to if you're using a mixer and it can do that for you. So you want to make sure that you lock it down, because with this particular thickness of cream cheese, it's going to make it jump around a little bit. Okay, so now that that's nice and softened, we're going to go ahead and heat up our oven. So we're going to go ahead and preheat it to 400. And we are going to turn that to broil later on, but that's going to happen at the last stage. So to the cream cheese that's already been softened, we're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of chopped frozen spinach. You can use fresh, but I like the frozen better because I feel like it just mixes in a little bit easier. And because the frozen spinach is sometimes a little bit firmer in other areas, you want to let it run for another couple minutes to make sure it's nice and mixed. And make sure you lock it down too. Now to this, we're going to go ahead and add a half a cup of artichoke hearts. These have been marinated and they're sold quartered, but you want to go ahead and chop them up a little bit more finely. So we'll put those in. And at this point I'm also going to add the garlic, which is 3 cloves of garlic. Now if you're not a big fan of garlic, you can do a little bit less, but in my household we're pretty addicted to garlic, so we do 3. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. And we're adding these in early on just to make sure that they get mixed in thoroughly with the cream cheese. So go ahead and lock it down again. We're going to let this go until it's really nice and mixed. Now at this point we're going to add the mayonnaise. It's 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And you can use a light mayonnaise. This particular one I think is an olive oil based mayonnaise. Anything works, it's just to give it a little bit of a lighter texture to it. And then we're also going to add the crab meat. This is half a cup of crab meat, and it is pre-cooked. That's the way it's sold. Crab, after it is caught and killed, if it lasts about 2 hours without being cooked, it lets off a toxin. So in the store, everything that you buy that's crab meat will be pre-cooked. We're going to turn this up just a little bit because the crab meat is a little bit more solid, and we want to break it down into some smaller chunks, and the mixer will do that for me. Now that that's nice and blended, we're going to go ahead and add the Parmesan. Now this is 1 cup of Parmesan, however I'm only going to add 2/3 right now, and I'm going to save the other third for the top. I'm also going to scrape down the sides at this point because sometimes the cream cheese likes to stick to the bottom, and we want to make sure that it's all nice and mixed in. And again, we're going to let this go for another minute. Now in the Pacific Northwest, we eat a lot of seafood, so I'm adding the crab. You could also do chicken if there's a shellfish issue, or you could do imitation crab or even smoked salmon would be a good addition to this. And it looks like we're all mixed and ready to go. So I do have a small dish that is safe for the oven. We're going to go ahead and put that in. I do like to use a little bit of a shallower dish because I feel like it gives it a little bit more of a crust to the top. And who doesn't like baked cheese, right? We're going to go ahead and put this in. You can see the texture is pretty thick. And we're just going to smooth it along the bottom of the dish, so it looks nice and even. And then to this I'm going to add the 1/3 that we saved of the Parmesan, and you just want to sprinkle it on the top. And then we're going to put it in the oven for 10 minutes. So it's been about 10 minutes, the cream cheese is nice and gooey, and the Parmesan's had a chance to melt, and the spinach is no longer frozen. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn it onto broil. And things on broil we have to watch pretty carefully, but this we just want to make sure that the top is starting to get brown, so it gives us that nice baked Parmesan on the top, kind of a little bit of a crunchy top to it. And so we're going to let that go for at least 3 minutes. It depends on your broiler. It might be more like 5. Okay, so like I said, we've kept a close eye on it because it's on broil and we want to make sure that it doesn't go too long and burn, but it is nice and brown on the top. So we're going to go ahead and turn off the oven. And then I'm going to use the pot holders that my niece made me for Christmas. Thank you, Riley. And I'm going to go ahead and take this out. And as you can see, it kind of has that nice brown crust on the top, which is my favorite part. And I can really smell the crab and the garlic. And you can go ahead and serve it with pita chips, tortilla chips, even a vegetable platter. It goes well with any of those things, and it's a wonderful appetizer. Thanks, Paula.